Hello and good morning and welcome to the United Stand Manchester United Transfer News Daily Special. Here we go, it's Friday, I'm happy, it's nearly the weekend. But also some very interesting news about Manchester United, obviously, in relation to the transfers. This one I really want to start off with, but there's a few. Patrice Evra to Manchester United returning is something that's been spoken about a lot this week. However, Di Marzio has come out and said that Manchester United are interested in Patrice Evra and Evra would like to return to Manchester United this month, January, which was something I'd said a couple of weeks ago. I think if Evra is coming back, it's debatable, but it's not really a deal to wait for the summer for, considering his age. We can't wait any longer. It would need to be a sort of now deal, and then we sort of discuss it. And also, Di Marzio, if you've been following the United Stand, last summer when it came to transfers, he was right on, I think he was right on every United deal. Mkhitaryan, Zlatan, Pogba, and not just right, but probably 2 or 3 weeks ahead of everybody else. So when he says something about Manchester United, we tend to sit up and listen on the United Stand. So that could, it came out in response to Rio Ferdinand's Instagram tweet asking if he was coming back to United and was quite vague about it. But apparently United wants him, and apparently everyone wants to come back. So the discussion we had a couple of days ago about whether you'd have him back or not suddenly becomes relevant again. What I would say is that when he left 3 years ago, there was a lot of United fans who said he was past it, slow, leaving us exposed because he was always going forward from the left-back position and not getting back in time. But I would balance that with the fact that what a character is, Mr. Manchester United, so much experience, so much passion. I'd like that back in the squad, and I'd like to see him involved in some sort of training role as well. So let's see what happens with that. The next one from Italy is Kostas Manolas. A massive fan of Kostas Manolas, 25 years I think he is of age, Greek international, playing for Roma. And I think, that graveyard that the Premier League is for Italian defenders. Yeah, he plays in Serie A, but he's a Greek player. I've liked him for a long time. Again, mentioned him last summer as my pick of the centre-backs I would like to see us sign. It never materialised. Apparently there's tentative inquiries from Manchester United. I would love that to be the case. He's well over 6 foot. I think he's won the most aerial duels in Serie A since he's been there, which is, I'm not massive on stats, but that sort of stat is one that stands out to me because we need somebody who's very good in the air at winning corners, set pieces, not just in our box but in the opposition, because our record from corners and scoring them is ridiculous. So that is a massive advantage and traits that I would really be pleased about if he came to United. But also he's very good at dealing with the smaller, quicker players, so things like Icardi's, Dybala, Aguero, if he was in the Premier League, he deals with people with pace really well, which for a tall guy again is a really good ability to have. I think he'd be perfect for Manchester United. Chelsea are more linked to him than we are, but if we can pull that deal off, I'd be absolutely ecstatic with that. So really hope there is something in it, although let's be honest, who it's coming from, it's not the top media back pages at all by any means. Just to throw in there very interestingly as well, coming up, obviously Michael Carrick's out of contract now. There's strong rumours that he's going to get a new contract in the next couple of weeks anyway, so I don't expect Carrick to leave. However, in looking at players who are out of contract in January, I saw a couple of players that might take your fancy at Manchester United. Ian Robbins out of contract and available for free in the summer, well into his 30s. Would you want him at United or not? But one that really took my eye was Daniel De Rossi at Roma again. Absolute brilliant midfielder, really probably at 33, not really Premier League standard now, probably go to the MLS, but always wanted him to come to United. He's a real all-action midfielder, and I always like the fact that he said that throughout his career he's modelled himself on Roy Keane, who, if you watch the United Stand, you'll know Roy Keane is probably one of my favourite United players of all time, and not just that, the best captain I've ever seen, and exactly what Manchester United needs. So yeah, De Rossi, probably a little bit old, but just interesting. Mourinho is an admirer of De Rossi as well. Tried to get him when he was at Chelsea. So I don't see us doing it, but it's just one to throw out there. Joe Riley, Manchester United youth midfielder, 20 years of age, off to Sheffield United to get some experience. Obviously he's not going to get any game time at the moment if Fosu Mensah can't get it in the first team. So going off to get experience, that's a good thing to keep an eye on. Cameron Borthwick-Jackson's been at Wolves. He was playing a lot of games under their previous manager, Walter Zenga, but under Paul Lambert, he's not playing at all. So apparently United want to call him back, which I totally understand. If you're loaning players out, you want them to be playing. not playing for Wolves and training with Wolves, he may as well be not playing for United and training with better players. So I understand why we'd do that. Maybe we can sort him out with another loan. I quite like Borthwick Jackson. I think people write him off as not an option, but he could well be an option for United. You never know. Lindelof. Some people think there's something's going to happen today with that. Victor Lindelof. I'd take Manolas over Lindelof, but the Lindelof deal looks like it's going to happen. We've been saying that for a long time. But apparently Benfica were having problems with the club they signed him from and the fee that they were going to pay. Now the reports are that has been resolved now, so that the Lindelof deal can happen wherever he's going to go. So we'll wait and see with that one. But realistically, something could happen any time. And I just feel with Manchester United, I've never done any history or research on it, but a lot of their deals seem to happen over the weekend. So let's see what happens with that. Lindelof, I'd be happy with that signing. There are a couple of others I wanted to talk about as well. Memphis, not really much happening with him, although Nice apparently want to get him on loan, Nice from France, and then pay us 10 million euros for him in the summer. Get lost. I'd rather give him away for free than have what is effectively about £7 million for him when we paid £27 million 2 years ago. Get lost. We want to get at least 20 million for him. Schneiderlin, still waiting for a better deal, but that's probably going to happen. And finally, I kept this till last because I didn't want to really talk about it. One particular paper, I think it was the Metro again, so don't take any notice, have said that Mourinho has decided to gamble on making no signings this January, and wait till the summer, but he will sell players. I can't see that. I think we are going to sign players. And there's rumours that Griezmann's been offered £220,000 a week to join Manchester United in the summer, which many of us think will happen anyway. So that's you up to date. Hope you've enjoyed the Friday one. We will be live tomorrow morning. We won't have a transfer show because we're going to be live at 11:30 with the team news an hour before they kick off for Reading. So we'll cover all the transfer news for you then. A little bit more social hour as well. But drop us a like on the video. Get involved with the United Stand. Subscribe. And we will be live later on at 8:30 as per usual as well. So like the video if you like what we're doing. Subscribe to the channel and get commenting below on any transfers we've spoken about or any you'd like to speak about as well. Have a good day. It's nearly the weekend, and I'll speak to you very soon.